Continuing the first webinar entitled Unlocking RCEP for Business, Trade in Goods, held in July, the ASEAN Secretariat, in collaboration with the East Asia Business Council, held a second webinar on 3rd September focusing on Rules of Origin or ROO and Customs Procedures and Trade Facilitation or CPTF of the RCEP agreement. In his opening remarks, Deputy Secretary General DSG for ASEAN Economic Community Satvinder Singh highlighted the importance of trade in goods for ASEAN and how the RCEP agreement can help ASEAN's trade in goods to expand. Let's take a look.
However, in 2020, as all of you know, due to the economic downturn caused by the pandemic, the numbers had gone down slightly to about $2.66 trillion US dollars. And I think this is why all of us in the ASEAN and our private sectors are truly looking forward to the RCEP agreement, hoping that it will, when it comes into force, help to contribute to our economic recovery and our resilience. The RCEP really aims to streamline the different rules that are existing today across all the participating countries into a single set of rules for the 15 participating important global economies of ASEAN, which includes Japan, China, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and of course all of us, 10 ASEAN countries. But in order to take advantage of the opportunities presented by RCEP agreement, I think it's important for businesses to pay attention and to truly navigate the rules and measures related to the rules of origin and trade facilitation.
That even if there is an RCEP ROO, wherein most of the ASEAN plus FTA partners are already parties to RCEP, if you are an exporter using the ASEAN Australia New Zealand FTA or ATIGA, for example, and you are using those FTAs because the tariffs are relatively low at this point, that the ROO that will be used for those FTAs are not the RCEP ROO. You still have to use the ATIGA ROO and the ANZ FTA ROO. I'm just reminding us because you might get confused. For example, the trading under AKFTA, for example, we can say that we can use the RCEP ROO. Aside from the obvious that the greater number of parties will allow you to accumulate from more sources, RCEP has adopted a more trade facilitative, co-equal and alternative rules for most products in the PSR list.
For me, what is even more critical is, the RCEP provisions themselves have committed time frames on, for example, 48 hours that goods should be cleared within 48 hours of arrival, right? And for express shipments within 6 hours of arrival. There are other commitments like the ability to obtain a release of your shipments even before you pay your duties and taxes. Interest to us, of course, for DHL is that RCEP specifically recognizes express clearance, so the ability to clear shipments, time-sensitive shipments. It makes provisions for de minimis thresholds.
A recent study by the Peterson Institute for International Economics suggests that the RCEP agreement will further expand trade among its members, directly contributing to their economic growth. Based on the study, by 2025, the RCEP agreement is projected to boost its members' exports by over 10%, and by 2030, at around 0.2% to the GDP growth in the region. The webinar highlighted that the realization of RCEP's potential will depend on its timely entry into force and the full, effective, and inclusive implementation of the agreement by its members.
And to truly